You don't have to learn to trade alone. Welcome to the Trading Lifestyle Podcast, where we interview professional currency traders and industry experts who can help you improve your trading and your life. And now, your host, Hugh Kimura.
Before we get started, remember that trading is risky and you could lose all of your investment. This podcast is for educational purposes only and is not trading, tax, or investment advice of any kind. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Hello traders, and welcome to another episode of the Trading Lifestyle Podcast. My name is Hugh Kimura, and in this episode I had the pleasure of sitting down with Greg McLeod. Now you may remember Greg from one of my previous blog posts where I shared an interview that Sean Overton had done with him, and they really got into the history of how Greg came up, and there were some interesting stories about how he was teaching South Central Los Angeles school kids trading. So I really encourage you to watch that video after you listen to this episode. But in this episode, we sat down and I really dug a little deeper into his history, what makes him tick. And I got him to share an interesting story that might be a little embarrassing to some, but served as one of the pivotal moments in his trading career. So watch out for that. And I think the thing that you might find most interesting about Greg is that he's a scalper. And a lot of people will tell you that it's not possible to become successful in scalping. But from what I've seen out there, almost anything is possible. And it may not be probable, but it may be possible. So all I'm asking is that you keep an open mind during this interview. And I believe that it's my responsibility on this podcast to present all different types of trading in as objective a light as possible so that you can make informed decisions. So I was really interested to sit down with Greg, figure out what kind of personality it takes to be a scalper and why he thinks he's successful. So I hope you enjoyed this interview as much as I did. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of laughs. Let me know what you think. Hey, Greg, thanks for coming on the show. Can you introduce yourself and tell people a little bit about you?
Hey, glad to be here with you. And a little bit about myself. I am a trader. I've been trading for about 20 years. I'm also a trader, mentor, and coach. And I currently CEO and founder of Elite Traders University, formerly known as ForexPaydays.com. I've also spent 8 years working for FXEM, the world's largest currency broker in the world, as a currency analyst and trading coach. I've also worked at a top-tier bank, and I've worked at prop trading desks as well. And I've also spent a great deal of time as a public educator, a public school teacher. And I'm a husband and father of 3 beautiful girls.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. I first heard about you when you were interviewed by Sean Overton, and I really like the story about when you were teaching and how that came about and how you're kind of teaching your students to trade a little bit. Can you tell us about that a little?
Yeah, some of the best memories of being in the inner city and working with kids. They're very challenging and not motivated. It was a height in 96, 95. There was a height of the gangs, the drugs, and they weren't really paying attention to what I had to say. Mm-hmm. And so I had to find a way to capture their attention. And usually money, the drug dealers had the big money. They counted the $100 bills in the back of the classroom. And I said, well, I had my computer up and I was doing some trades, and the kids would come over my desk and see what I was looking at. I go, well, this is how you make money the fast way. It's like drug money, but it's legal. Nice. And they go, can you show us? it? Yeah, it's called the stock market. You heard of it? And they go, yeah, well, you got to listen to what I have to say, and you got to watch my, do my, my English exercises, activities, and lessons and readings. If you do all that, we'll have part of the class. Mm-hmm. At the end. And they took to it like fish to water, man. I mean, it's like because they wore the white T-shirts, so they want, you have the big white T-shirts and the baggy pants. Well, what do you want to invest in, Will? Well, I want to invest in Clorox. I go, why? Well, it's a bleach, and we use a lot of bleach to make our shoelaces white, make our shirts white. Mm-hmm. So they were, and guess what? That Clorox stock was a top performing stock, and they were using a lot of the street sense that they had for slinging crack cocaine or whatever or not. Mm-hmm. Buy low, sell high, find the market, find the need. It's the same thing. And, if I could take kids off the street and get them to save themselves, to be able to apply themselves to the markets, that's one less someone that's maybe picking your pocket, Hugh.
Yeah, exactly. So
So
I interviewed somebody else before who kind of did this also in high school, and he said that generally the worst students were the best traders, and vice versa. Did you find that was true?
yeah, I found that the kids who didn't that were more street, they had a little more. They didn't have a lot of. They weren't, I guess, rigid. They had more flexible thinking. They're more
Hmm.
creative.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, they would. In fact, in my own elite trading university, I got a couple of guys who are college, actually high school dropouts, and
Hmm.
they're doing like 35% for for the month. I'm like going,
Wow.
what? It's like, but I've had some PhDs that are maybe doing struggling, and I have other PhDs that are just killing it. So
Hmm.
it's all across the board. But people think that you have to be a rocket scientist to trade. You really don't. You
Yeah, yeah, exactly. What attracted you to trading in the first place?
Well, I had a daughter. My wife and I were married, and we had a little daughter. And I looked at the economy. I looked at the layoffs that was happening in the teaching and the
Hmm.
constant cuts in pay. And I said, you know what? If I were to go to college, and this was 19 years ago,
Hmm.
and I said, we got to do something. And I mean, I was praying. I'm Christian. And I was praying, and I came across a scripture in the Bible, how the parable of the talents,
Hmm.
where the guy takes a talent of gold, and he takes one and he makes two more. Another guy takes another five and makes 10. And so and they say, well, how do they do that? They traded, like, oh, the word trade. What's trading? They
Uh,
traded back then.
uh-huh.
I wonder if they still trade now, because I wasn't really into financial markets or anything then.
Hmm.
And then so I figured, well, to have two and get two more is 100%. Where can you get 100%?
Yeah.
Banks are giving 4%. This is the '90s, so
Yeah.
you can't get 4% now.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I just looked around, and then I figured, I found some channel 22. It was like a business channel in LA, and there's this guy that said, "Hey, you could buy soybeans and so many thousand bushels here with options."
Hmm.
And my first option trade, and I took $3,000, and I took 1,000 made into 3,000, so it was like a 300% return. I'm like
Hmm.
going, by Jove, I'm a genius. But
Yeah.
yet the first trade you ever make, it was like talking about Forrest Gump, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Kiss of death.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
Absolute worst thing.
invincible.
Yeah.
Right. And I said, beans and babies and beans in the teens. That's the big battle cry, right? And I said, honey, you're gonna go to Harvard. And
But then, of course, from there, it kind of like reality hit, right?
oh, reality hit cold. Yeah, I was like, okay, now what? I had a hot tip. Okay, and there were no more. There were no more hot tips. I
Hmm.
didn't know what to do. All I did was I was like a parrot. I could repeat what I heard, but I couldn't. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a strategy. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have anything.
Hmm.
So blew that up and gave back more.
Oh no.
But the thing about it is, Hugh, is I knew I got the bug. I knew that it's possible.
Hmm.
You know, and so it just a matter of someone else must be doing this, right? So I just had to just find someone that knew how to do it who would teach me.
Okay. So what did you go from there? Like, I guess you did all these other things with FXCM and all that. So kind of take us through the timeline of, discovering trading, being a teacher, and then going into like FXCM.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I after when I was looking around for this, for the Holy Grail, I was looking for a system, I tried every shiny object. I was, back then, they didn't have like the internet, so I took a couple of not online, but I got some DVDs, cassettes, and things, and,
Hmm.
you know, tried different systems, and then basically, it was just up and down until finally I invested in a mentor, and I made I got into stock options,
Hmm.
and then I was able to make a whole lot of money with Yahoo, and I think that's like $4,000 in that course or something like that. And that was in the '90s, and it was live trading in a hotel room, and I had a flip phone, one of those big Motorola flip phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big block. I called my broker, and I bought bank in New York or something like that, and that was great, And that system worked for a while, and I said, okay, well, I don't need this guy anymore. I think he had a little upside, and I said, forget. Okay, I'm already making money. Well, I turned into maybe probably $750,000 there. Off of Yahoo, when Yahoo was like that big, huge move, and I was, oh man, this is it,
Yeah.
Well, of course, 2000, everything blows up, right? Everybody's a genius going up in the bull rally. And I quit my job too. I had quit teaching,
Oh, wow.
and I had moved to Texas, and I'm like, oh, this is it, holy crap. And I bought Range Rover, and I was in vacation in Vegas, and, it was like a double bottom. It was like, hey, I had to, when I quit my job, I'm not coming back. I moved to Texas. It was the shame, the low point in my life, is I had to go back and ask my job back. It's like, because I got unplugged from a system. I didn't have anybody, it was always like, okay. So I went back to teaching, and, still built my account back up. And then I discovered this was like 2000, so Forex was just coming up, and I actually took a class I had taken a class in '99 in Forex, but I said I don't need this because I got options. So I took this course in Forex, and then I was back in business again. I was able to put together a system. I met up with with a mentor, and that was really helpful in Houston. I met Rob Booker, and that was really helpful too. And that was really with Mark Douglas.
Oh, wow.
That was really good too. Oh my God. Between Mark Douglas and Rob Booker, that really straightened me out, and it was a great investment. And then I got it together with Rothko.
Okay.
And I started trading there. Okay. I got a great account at Rothko, and everything's going good again. And guess what? Well, the story. Rothko goes belly up, and then my account gets gone, and then I wind up going. I said, well, I wonder, this other brokerage is hiring in Dallas. Maybe I'll go there. And it turns out, there's a relationship, between Rothko and FXCM, and FXCM knew about it. They go, oh yeah, we'll take you. It's like, I said, I want to be a trader. He's like, well, we don't take, you can be a salesperson on the desk. Everybody starts off in sales. So I started, worked my way up. Great company to work for, great people there. Met Tom Long, Rich Crevo, Matt Russell, Kathy and Boris were there. I mean, it was just a really great organization to work for and to learn about the Forex, learning from the inside. And it's and that was and that was really cool. Being able to meet so many people on through the forums, doing Pip and Run, doing a live show with like that, and then I said, I had developed this system when I was working with Mark Douglas, and the whole Pip and Run live trading, and that was really good. In fact, when they went to a no dealing desk, FXC went to the no dealing desk model. They wanted some type of a system where they could trade more often, to create more volume. So I said, well, I got a little something I could do. And so I did it. And they go, well, that's great, So I got to do Pip and Run for like 3 years, and I did it from home. And they opened up maybe 20,000 accounts as a result of me basically like an infomercial, showing people how it's done, using their platform with those tight spreads where it's great. FXCM had fantastic spreads. They had that market depth thing, that indicator, and I was just killing the market. And a lot of people were following along and trading along, and it was a lot of fun. I got to teach again, and I got to work with people and follow my passion, which was really education. Trading is good, but my heart is for educating people and I felt I could do more of it the way I wanted to do it on my own,
Hmm.
and being able to share it with people. And you probably see me on Twitter, and my biggest thing I like doing is sharing and helping when I see my students come back from college, they got a car, they got family. I'm so happy.
Hmm.
When I see my students who trade, I have a student from Canada who paid off his 4-year tuition using my trading tactics.
Wow.
And John Miller, if you go to my go to YouTube, you'll be able to see his testimony there. And it was like so cool because he was like 21 in pimples, and now he launched an internet company, a travel software company. He said it's not a startup anymore, Greg. He's like, oh, that's right. I'm so sorry. You're in 4 continents, and it's a
Wow.
voice activated travel. It's called Hello Goodbye.
Hmm.
You know, plug for John Miller.
Hmm.
Hello Goodbye, and it's a voice activated travel concierge service. And he used his money from trading forex from what I taught him to start the company. And I'm just blown away, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
awesome. So I guess from what you're telling me, you do some scalping, right? Is that right?
oh, I'm a scalper. Well, you know my old saying, Hugh. You
Yeah.
remember? Why buy and hold when you can tip and run?
Yep, yep. So I kind of feel like scalping is a little misunderstood, maybe a little vilified in the trading world. What attracted you to it, and what about your personality gives you the edge in that time frame?
Oh yeah, I'm glad you asked. 'Cause I tried trading off the 4 hour and daily and putting the trade on. It's up 15 pips, and I have my set my stop for like you know for 50, and I'm looking for 100, and then it goes back down, and I get stopped out. I'm like, oh, that sucks. Well, it's you use your risk reward ratio, blah blah blah, all the trends. It's like, oh, you know what? This kind of sucks. Next time I get 15, I'm taking it. You shouldn't do that. Well, how can I get hurt taking money?
Hmm.
So I was just taking it. And then I go, it did it up again. It went back up to the old level again. I got back in. And then it went up a little bit higher to about 15. I took it again.
Hmm.
And then it dropped. It's like going, And I was doing it 5, 6, 8, 10 times. I go, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit and run. I'm going to pip and run.
Hmm.
And I think Suhail and I were having curry at a Afghan restaurant, and we came up with that name, Pip and Run, and
That's
that's
awesome.
it. That's it. And but I instant gratification. I can't. I have to see things to the end.
Uh-huh.
And I have microwave burritos in the refrigerator. I got top ramen. I mean, I like things. I mean, I had after a miscarriage in December of 2001, and 2002 February I get pregnant. My wife gets pregnant with twins. I just kind of do things fast, you know.
Okay. So would it be kind of like maybe like an ADD type thing where you always have to be doing something?
Yeah, but now because I don't stick in front of the computer very long.
Hmm.
So, some of my trades are like, we have contests. Who can be in the shortest? I'm in for like 1 minute. I'm in for 30 seconds. Oh yeah, I'm in for 5 seconds. I think I have one. I have a vine with 36 seconds.
Hmm.
Um, and I think John had 6 seconds, and I came up with a 2 second trade.
Wow.
So it's like we have a method. The method I developed, price pattern evolution, where I could see where the pattern is and know where the entry and the stop is, and being able to just anticipate the next move. And that's why I have my students sign a non-disclosure agreement. They're like, look, I'm going to teach you my secret sauce, but look, you got to keep it under wraps here
Yeah.
because it's good. And because I can teach people that I got this guy, Garth. His first question to me was, "What's a pip?" I'm like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be good." He's from Australia, Garth Tilly, God bless him. And my God, he was just killing it. I think he was like doing like 10-15% per day.
Wow.
And then he got his buddy Hemi got Garth involved, and Hemi was 11 months in there, and he's up like 35% verified through that MyFX book. I'm like, you guys got to be kidding! Well, look at the link. I'm like clicking the link. Are you joking? Oh my God, you guys are just tremendous.
Yeah.
And so the stories, if I know it and I can teach it to other people, that is so what I love, because I'm attracting people who are similar to me. We're all kind of like ADD. We have like this really cool party of people. Hey, we do have some people. My strategy can be applied to like longer term trading. So I have this guy. I call him the marathon. I'm pip and run. I have a guy named Rod. He was a pip and marathoner.
Okay.
And he's like, "You guys are late to the party. I've been in pound kiwi and I got 1,400 pips." I'm going, 1,400? It's like, yeah. It's like, yeah. He's up like something. He took a $2,000 account and he's up right now as of about over 24,000. So he's up over 1,000% in his account starting in January, verified.
Okay.
And he does he's a hybrid, I call him. He scalps around the core position. So he puts his big position on and then he goes in and out around that position. So I go, okay, you can still be part of the club.
Okay, cool. Well, it's great to know that it's flexible like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure you get this a lot, but if there was one thing that you could tell a struggling trader to do and they would actually follow your instructions, what would that be?
Follow my instructions. That was my number one rule in my classroom. The first rule number one: follow all instructions the first time they're given. That rule is like, it's like 3 wishes and they ask you for more wishes kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm sure like a lot of students try to make their own thing and try to invent stuff and they think they're smarter, right?
Yeah, it's like, and why did you come to me for? And
yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I guess for that's just human nature or something. Who are your biggest mentors or trading heroes?
The biggest mentor, Mark Douglas, by far, just really and very influential. Helped me my trading, helped me to basically follow my method and to trust it and to not just jump from every shiny object to another. And he's not cheap, but it was worth every penny. And he's gone, and that's I mean, he's an awesome individual. He genuinely cared about people, and he passed the torch on to me. So that was really cool that I got to meet him. Rob Booker is an awesome person. I did training with him back in Houston. I think we were trading at a house. We traded in this mansion in the Rice Village area.
Awesome.
And we had breakfast and trained next to Rod Booker. That was really cool. That was very influential. And I got to meet Thomas Bukowski, Encyclopedia Chart Patterns, and he's cool. Gerald Appel, the MACD inventor, and John Bollinger, the Bollinger Band. I mean, I got to meet these guys are still alive, and it was just very, very cool that Larry Pesavento, got to meet him at a conference. I mean, those are like I've talked with Alexander Elder. I mean, the Godfather.
Wow.
Yeah, these guys are just pinnacles. Growing up in that 90s, trading, it was just, people just don't know what they're missing. It's ancient history now.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of funny. I think almost everybody I talk to in Forex can somehow trace their lineage back to Rob Booker in some way. I don't know. The guy's amazing.
Yeah, and it was really cool about Rob Booker. Let me give you a little side story. Is I got to do a presentation at FXCM. They had me do I did Pip and Run live on stage, and he actually was in the audience. And Rob Booker, I go, oh my goodness, he's in the audience. So I got to give him a shout out. I actually remember going to his workshop, and now he's in my workshop, and I was just so honored. It was just cool, and did a selfie with him. It was really awesome to have a full circle that 11 years ago I was sitting in the audience looking at him, and now he's in the audience looking at me. I just thought that was just good karma there all the way around.
Yeah, no, that's great. I've been to one of his events in Hawaii, and it's always a fun time. Somehow he attracts the fun people, so it's a good stuff.
Good vibe, yeah.
Can you give us an idea of what your trading day looks like? Maybe like your daily routine?
Yeah, in my bunny slippers.
Of course.
I get a cup of coffee. But what I'll do is I will check the chat room because people say, well, Greg, why do you teach people your proprietary strategy? Well, because I'm lazy and I have a whole chat room full of people who know my system, who are posting things in there. And they go, well, Greg, what about this? And I go, yeah, that looks like a good one. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Simon. I'll take that one.
Yeah.
I'll screen it. But I have key students in there who I just, almost like it. I take it to the bank with them. But I will run through my. I'll do definitely the news. I gotta check the news. Gotta check Forex Factory. I gotta check, what's going on back there. FX Street. Check the what's going on in the big picture. So I'll do that. Then I'll go through and check out my dollar index charts. And see, and then I'll go ahead and check check what's going on in the euro and the pound, the majors. And then I'll start, looking at my support and resistance levels, my big levels. Looking to see if we're trading near these big levels. And usually, my day will start a couple hours, or maybe like 30 or 40 minutes, maybe an hour before a major stock market opens. So I may get in front maybe 7 o'clock Eastern time, just for the Australia market. And I might look at the market. My day might start maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock, just before the U.S. stock market opens. Or maybe I might wake up in the middle of the night and look at London, maybe about 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning. And so I might wake up several times a day and take naps in between, depending on what's going on. But I'm going to check what's going on, where price is before that, because the volume is what you're looking for. You want people, the more people, not all trading. Forex is a 24-hour market and 5 days a week, blah, blah, blah. But not all. Come on, all days are not the same. All hours are not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's guys kicking back, yawning, falling asleep in their own drool in front of a computer terminal, during Asia session, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta pick where the party is, where the most, and the party's going to happen during where stock market people and Forex people, and there's banks are open. That's where the party is. So I'm looking for where the party is, and then I'll just look for some I'm looking for my price patterns, and I'm looking for movements above those ranges.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, that's a lot of flexibility. You can just get up and trade any stock market open, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so you've obviously met a lot of famous people, and I'd like to hear maybe a story that you haven't told to too many people. What's your favorite trading related story that you haven't maybe told to many people?
Story. Well, yeah, I was the Houston Forex Association was really big back in the early 2000s. Mona, before the Forex Made Easy, that was a really happening scene, I know people who heard of the Mona system. That was the big, and so we used to go to the Houston Forex Association meetings, and it was speaking there. It was Boris Schlossberg was speaking, and it was very, very cool, a great guy. And I had to go to the bathroom, and then I look at the next stall, and there he is. Like, hey, Boris, hey, how you doing? This was before I worked at FXCM, right? Okay. So it was very cool, And I said, man, you're this real. I really enjoy what you're saying. This, he goes, yeah. And he was talking. He said, hey, about the Kiwi dollar and things like that. He says, hey, Kiwi dollar is kind of like a time traveler. Usually, it moves before when it makes a move first, and then the other currencies seem to follow it. And so I call it like the time travel. I go, wow, that's a pretty good. I mean, we're like, against the tile, doing our thing, like, and he's another girlfriend that works in the banks, and they make money this way, but they're not real traders. They're just making money, pressing the button, algorithmic kind of stuff. I'm like, wow, it's really cool. And it was very ironic because I see him on the subway in New York, because I went to New York one summer with daughters and my family, and I see him on the subway and he's reading a book. He's like, I see you again. It was just very, we work for the same company. So
it's funny how it works out that way, I guess, huh?
Yeah. So that was really cool. Give me a tip about that Kiwi. So something I look at that Kiwi and that Aussie, and you see it doing its thing, and you'll see that the euro and pound will follow after that. So that's.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I don't know if I'm ready to talk to strangers in the bathroom yet, but that's definitely.
Hey, you get some hot tips, guys. His phone number's on there, man.
Okay. Well, what is something about you personally that people might not know that you'd like them to know?
Um, if you have noticed already, I like having fun and keeping things. I can break things down really easily for people to understand. I take the most complex things and make them, um, uh, I guess, a little bit more quirky side. I'm a Trekkie.
Oh,
you know,
okay, cool.
yeah,
Interesting. It's always good to see what people do outside of trading.
yeah.
Uh, what's the biggest misconception about trading? Do you think your new students have?
Well, I think that they've been brainwashed about the bulls versus bears. And the key in my strategy, and the key I tell people is not bulls versus bears, is finding where the bulls and bears are both on the same side of the trade.
Okay.
And that's when you're going to get where because if you have bulls and bulls versus bears, you're going to have consolidation. You don't get breakouts until you have bulls and bears on the same side of the trade. And you never hear anybody talk about that, about the bulls and bears, because if bulls start breaking out, the bears who are short have to buy it back, and they're buyers too, right? So you have to find trading is just the art of finding where bulls and bears agree. So it's never bulls versus bears. They may be unwillingly participants. Bull bears might be made to. I have to buy my position back because I got stopped out or margin called, or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or I'm taking profit, right? Uh, but in the event, you have to buy your position back to close it if you're short, and you have to sell your position if you're long. If so you become a bear. So
Yeah.
that's I think that's the common thing, and also but I like finding market turning points and imbalances, and as opposed to joining the big crowd is sometimes you have to buy when there's blood in the streets.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Do you think people should be in love with trading as an activity to be successful, or can it just be a means to an end?
I think if they have a big enough why, a big enough vision,
Uh huh.
if you're just doing it for money, I found those they don't really do that well. But if they, like I have one student, Adina Aaron, and she's a great opera singer, and she is a fantastic businesswoman. She's like the queen of Forex. She does about 600 pips a day.
Wow.
And I mean, she sought me out to train her and her team, and she has a working on putting together a hedge fund managing millions of dollars. It's just phenomenal. She got the idea of doing that from watching Pip and Run. I said, you can take the money from trading and actually do good things like managing a theater company like she's doing and doing that. And that is because she has this big vision of supporting her theater company, whatever it needs to do to fund that or to get that big dream, well, trading happens to be that you can do it. Right? So maybe you're not really in love with trading, but you love what it could do as far as you have a bigger picture. Like if you want to drill wells for youth, or maybe you want to provide lighting to African countries, LED lighting or solar panels, or clean water in South America, or education in Asia or something like that. If you have some big project or something that you want to do, and the love for trading will naturally come because you have a big enough why. And that's why when people apply for my program, I say, "What's your why? Why need some extra money to pay some bills?" Like, oh, that's probably not a big enough why.
Yeah.
I require 7 hours of focused on my material, and you come across something you don't understand, that you just give up. Well, because your why isn't big enough. So I think if you have a big enough why, and it can be a love, and it will happen, you'll develop a love for trading, and it'll become an art. And when you trade well, the money will come. But if you just trade for money, it'd be kind of real elusive.
Do you get a lot of answers like, I want a Ferrari or Lamborghini?
Yeah, I do. And if you're passionate about Ferrari or
Yeah.
Lamborghini,
Yeah,
work
that's
too.
great. Yeah.
If it's passion, you have a passion for exotic cars. I mean, I have a guy, Simon, who's a passion for planes. He bought a plane with his
Nice.
Forex trading. He showed me his picture, like, going, wow, that's really cool, Simon. He's a pilot, and he's just got certification for a heavier aircraft, and so big shout out to him. But he has this passion, And that's, because, yeah, he wants to get off, people want to leave their jobs and things, but to do what? To sit around and watch TV,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But but if you have a big thing like gardening, if you want to, or jogging or physical fitness or whatever you want to do, volunteer work, you know, then leaving your job and that passion will be big enough that will cause all kinds of magic to happen for you in your trading.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a great point. Something that everybody should think about. Um, what is one product or service that's not currently available in the FX world that you would like to see created?
Well, I sure would like to see a 24-hour TV channel or broadcast of just Forex. They have business news and CNBC. I'd just love to have a channel where just somebody, just maybe something like you, or just talking, and have a every hour maybe a different type of program, just a whole set of programming just devoted to Forex. Uh, to Forex.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to see that too. That'd be awesome.
Nice joint venture.
Yeah, there you go.
Hi, it's Hugh here with the Forex report.
We've got Greg, and Greg this hour. What are three books that people might not have heard about that you think would be essential reading for traders? And they don't have to be trading books.
Oh, okay. Well, the Bible. I think it's a great book.
Mm-hmm.
As far as just learning all kinds of wisdom, and you can learn from it. Even if you're not a Christian, the Bible is something you should just read, just know about. There's lots of story. In fact, think the futures market was given birth in the book of where Joseph was putting aside wheat. That's the Forex market. That's why those guys wear those many colored coats, those jackets in the Chicago pit.
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of trading stuff going on in there. The next book is I learned Trading for a Living by Alexander Elder is like the day trader's Bible from the 1990s.
Mm-hmm.
Get that book. I have a copy that's my bedtime storybook.
Nice.
Yeah, he is losing to being an alcoholic, and you have to learn how to kick the losing habit. I mean, but there's lots of great trading stuff, and then also the Market Wizards books, Jack Schwager. Yeah, and I'll throw another one in there, Ari Kev, Trade to Win. Ari Kev, he's passed away too. He's a great guy on trader psychology, and of course, trading in the zone. Mm-hmm. He said books that people have not heard about that maybe you haven't heard about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely classics.
Yeah, you get them and read them, because you are what you read. You are what you read, and who you hang around with. So. Mm-hmm. You look at your people you're hanging around with, and they're doubters or negative people. You need to cut them loose, get around positive people, get around and filling your brain with positive reading material, and that's how you get that growth. We have I'm developing a reading list for our group to keep their minds sharp and conditioned to win, and to expect to win when they're trading. Having that confidence, that expectation to win is very important.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. What would you say is the single most amazing opportunity that trading has given you?
It's the freedom and flexibility that that is just even when I was the one-hit wonder and had to go back to work, mm-hmm. The ability to be able to be in the Bahamas and trade, be able to be in Jamaica and trade, be able to be anywhere in the world and press the button to make money, and that's that confidence, that security. That I don't need any employees. I don't for that part of the business. I don't have to have overhead. I don't have the headache of payroll. It's just me and my laptop and an internet connection, mm-hmm. and that gives you a certain sense of confidence and self-esteem that you just don't get that from working for someone, mm-hmm. and trading gives you that when you master it and can do it well. And it's the greatest feeling in the world.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I think when you're going to the hard knocks and all that, it can be difficult to lose sight of that. But it's good to be reminded that it is possible, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Because when you're in that dark, when you're in the bottom, I've been there. And he's like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Your wife's like, why are you doing this? But first thing I did when mail out, I go, I'm gonna buy you a 5 carat diamond ring. She got an emerald, a nice little princess cut ring. And now she says, oh, honey, you should trade. Are you up? You need to get up to trade. It's like, no, I'm good. I got some positions on. He's like, before she was like, you should quit. This is over. You're just throwing money out the window.
Yeah.
I'm really tired of you. You're taking money out of the bank account and putting it. And I go, honey, this is going to do it. It's like, yeah, this is what you said last time. And I'm talking. I may be talking to somebody out there. You know what I'm going through. I know what you're going through. If you hear what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But do something for your kids. Do something for your family with your profits, and they'll get on your side. That's the fastest way to put them on your side, and that way you have, when you are down, they'll pick you up.
Yeah, that's a good point. What else do you like to do outside of trading? Anything else we can talk about?
I like, I love traveling, and I like football. I'm a big football. I'm a Oakland Raider fan.
Okay,
nice. That's what to cheer about. But the Warriors, they are in the Bay Area, so Cali, baby. So I love sports, and I love this travel, sports, the volunteering. Love doing that.
That's awesome. Okay.
And being my kids, being able to trade, I can go to my kids' school, go to their concerts, and be part of their lives in a bigger and better way. That's I don't and being master in my trading, where I'm not slave to my trading, where Daddy, open the door. Oh, I'm in a trade. I'll be right with you. I'm in and out so fast. I'm done. Let's go play. Let's go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Let's go get an ice cream. So I didn't want to create another job.
Yeah. Okay, well, Greg, I really appreciate you taking the time out, and you've given a lot of great information. Is there anything else that you want to talk about that we didn't cover here? Maybe something you want to say to the traders or something like that?
Yeah, I want again, I want to thank you so much for inviting me on and letting me share it with your audience, and hopefully what I've told them, it helps them, encourage them some way. I also want to give them a free gift for for just being part of the whole trading thing, to help them out, a free lesson. So if they go to my website, elitetradersuniversity.com /trading-heroes.
Okay.
And there is a free video lesson, case study of how my student turned the 2,000 to 20,000.
Nice.
Rod C is an air conditioner technician from Kansas. So you get to see the steps that he took in order to get to where he got, and hopefully they'll learn something from that. And it's only available to the listeners of your podcast, because you've got an awesome audience and awesome program. And I follow you on Twitter, you follow me on Twitter, and I just love the people and the talent that you share. And I'll have other discounts and things, free things for them as well, if they go to that elitetradersuniversity.com /trading-heroes.
Awesome. Okay, I'll put that in the show notes so people can click on that and check it out. Besides Twitter and that website, where else can people find more about you? Or are those the best places?
You can go there. You go to my YouTube channel as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a Facebook fan page. You can go to the Forex Paydays Facebook//Forex Paydays.com. And we're coming up with Elite Trader too. We're building that out. We're building a new formalized training to help people basically move from retail trader to professional and money management. Because there's such a Hugh, there's a big depth of there's a dearth of money management talent out there. I mean, Marco Iliak, he's one of my students. He's managing a few million. I got Dina that's going to be managing about 10 million. But other than I have been behind the scenes of another brokerage, and I've seen the wall of money managers and people just losing money. I mean, how there's only one guy making money. He's hedged. He's got like minus 100,000 one side and another minus 100 plus 50,000 one side. He's like hedged. But quality money managers, there's a lot of hot money looking for investment. They're looking for professional people. And that's what I do for the Elite Traders University. I give them my proprietary system so they can prepare either to trade for themselves, and also they can be a strategy provider at Xenia, brokerage that I'm partnered with, Xenia.ky, and C Trader to C Mirror. And so, but you get listed if you go through the system and you're able to show proficiency. So you can have trading capital behind you, and I prepare you so you can do that. So that's what I do. Move you from retail to professional, and then match you with capital. That's the.
I see. Okay. Great.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I think that's the biggest gap right now. Because I know a couple of guys who could trade for a living, but they got like a $100,000 account, and that's fine. But if they want to trade more money than that, then they're kind of just floundering. Like, where do I go? What do I do? So I think a service like that is awesome.
Definitely. So check me out. You can email Holger at EliteTradersUniversity.com. He's my customer service guy, and he's in Germany. HOLGER at EliteTradersUniversity.com, and they'd be more happy to answer your question. Or email me at Greg. My email address is not working, so try Greg at ForexPaydays.com. That's still working. You can email me too at Greg at ForexPaydays.com if you have any questions.
Okay, and, cool. I'll put that in the show notes also, so people can just click on that and talk to you that way.
Yes.
But yeah, Greg, thank you again. This has been fun and
intense. Man, I salute what you're doing, man. Keep finding those trading heroes and help keep the hope alive.
All right, thanks. Talk to you soon.
Happy pipping. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for listening to the Trading Lifestyle Podcast. To listen to all of the other episodes and get free access to Forex trading tools, tutorials, and resources, visit tradingheroes.com.